Hello and welcome to my Virgo Risings for your February 2023 mini forecast for the month. I'm going to talk about maybe five little interesting things for the month. If you don't know your rising sign and you're watching this, I'll leave a link down below. You can email me and give me your birth time and the time you were born, and I'll send you a chart and tell you your rising sign. But this is definitely for the Virgo Risings. You being Mercury ruled, always interesting for you. The big thing off the bat, the first thing in the month that happens on February 5th, Sunday for many on the West Coast, and it can lap in other parts of the world, but we have a full moon that happens in the sign of Leo. And this is an intense full moon because it's connected to another planet involved, which is Uranus in the sign of Taurus. Uranus brings surprise, brings things out of the blue, whatever it touches and engages with, it rocks it and shakes it to break it apart from the norm. And it's doing that to the Leo full moon. And it happens in the area of your chart that deals with what they call the 12th house. The area of the chart that deals with kind of like laying low, the chill rehabilitative place that it falls in the chart. This is the 12th house sometimes deals with like where we go to meditate, where we go to let go, where we go to be inward. Sometimes it deals with healing and having to deal with like certain illnesses and stuff like that. But in this sense, this Leo moon's going to shine its light on that part of your chart. And my Virgo risings, I would look here to lay low on that weekend. Not like danger lay low, but it's more about like, this is what a place actually I think you're really good at times. And Virgo risings have the penchant for finding out the part that doesn't work anymore in a system and taking that part out that's not functioning and bringing a new one in. And if the system is, in this case, the internal self, the place that you go to meditate on and to contemplate and to deal with how to purge things from your metaphorical basement or attic, you could see the Leo moon shining its light there in a different creative way to do it. Uranus brings a surprise into this though. And so be on your toes and look for inspiration here. But in the end, let's not beat yourself up. This is not about guilt or shame or anything like that. We want to let go of those things, and we want to let go of these things in a quiet, chill, meditative place. And that's what this Leo full moon is going to show you, and how you can, I think, use it to your advantage when it comes to letting something go. When we get to the 11th, the planet Mercury, which rules you, Virgo risings, you're always going to be sensitive to Mercury's goings-ons. When it's retrograde, whatever sign it's in, you have to follow it, okay? Because it's your chart ruler. On the 11th, Mercury leaves the sign of Capricorn, where it's been since December. It went through a retrograde, everything, a whole story there, and it enters the sign of Aquarius. And here, Mercury functions well, and it's going to be inventive and deals with new ideas, progressive ways of thought. Mercury, thoughts, communicating. And this is going to happen in the area of your chart that deals with the 6th house. This is like your day-to-day work day. It also deals with pets, actually, but it has to do with systems in your day-to-day work, like how you do your work, how you do your to-do list, how you do your regimens. And there's a different way of thinking here that Mercury in Aquarius brings, another side, detached, cerebral, scientific way of being in the experimental lab and bringing maybe something new into your regimented daily life and how you do your work and how you serve. So you Virgo risings have a tendency to serve sometimes. Maybe this Mercury in Aquarius gives you a different way of looking how you serve, and to keep things balanced where you're appreciated because of what you do and not taken advantage of. That's a scenario that happens to Virgo risings. But most importantly, I think it's a twist in the systems of how you go day by day and in an inventive way. So when we get into the 18th, the sun leaves the Aquarius birthdays and goes into the Piscean birthdays, your opposite sign, your polarity point. And not only that, it's within the next day that a new moon happens in the sign of Pisces. And this happens in your relationship house, the opposite place of your rising sign, first house of self, and the opposite house is mirrored other relationships. And here you have a major new something happening here, or the seed moment that could happen. Interestingly enough, until this 20th of the month, the weeks before, Venus has been in the sign of Pisces. And so it's already starting a story there about possible romance or the way you engage with your friends and family, how you integrate with them, how you create partnerships, and the way in a good, a beautiful, at times through your senses type of way. And here, then we have the new moon happen on the 20th, where there's like something new comes into that area of your life. It's so fascinating, though, because after the new moon happens, within 45 minutes, the planet Venus leaves Pisces and goes into Aries. And that is a quick switch up all of a sudden. And then enters in the area of your chart that deals with the 8th house, which deals with inheritances, shared resources, intimacy at times, but really a lot of times deals with the darker secrets or the occult matters. But in a more tangible way, I'll give you, sometimes it's the place we deal with kind of the things that we're behind in our mind that we fear, that we're hard to grasp and a hold of, that we're kind of tentative about. And this Venus transit in Aries is going to bring some energy into that area. And Aries deals with the core self and the will, like how one puts its will into an area or through relating. Venus. So this area with shared resources, shared intimacy, inheritances / sometimes endings or death. On the traditional way, they would say death. I'm not predicting death here, but I'm saying something to do with a fear thing that needs to move and change is happening with Venus and Aries. And that is not the most particular way I want to end the forecast for the month of February for you, but I do want to say that you pay attention to that 7th house of relationships and that new moon in Pisces and Venus in Pisces the weeks before, because that's some candy right there, and that can bring you some beautiful healing and love and compassion into your life. If you liked what you saw or what you heard here, please hit the subscribe button, and until next time, I will see you on the next video.